You hear the name corned beef, and your brain immediately goes, wait, where's the corn? There's no corn in it, not even a little. So why is it called corned beef? Did someone just name it wrong, and we all went along with it? Because honestly, it sounds like it should be made from corn. But here's the twist. The word corn in corned beef has nothing to do with the corn you eat at all. To understand this, we have to go back to a time before refrigerators, before freezers, when keeping meat fresh was a serious challenge. Imagine you're living hundreds of years ago. You have fresh meat, but no way to store it for long. No fridge, no ice, nothing. So what do? You preserve it. And one of the oldest methods humans discovered was using salt. Lots of it. Salt pulls moisture out of meat, making it harder for bacteria to grow. It basically slows down spoilage and keeps the meat edible for much longer. But here's where the word corned comes in. Back then, salt wasn't always fine like it is today. It came in large, rough crystals, and these crystals were called corns of salt. Not corn like the vegetable, but corn as in small, hard grains. Kind of like how we say peppercorn. So when people preserved beef using these large grains of salt, they called it corned beef, literally meaning beef cured with corns of salt. And just like that, the mystery starts to clear up, but the story doesn't stop there. Because corned beef wasn't just a random food, it actually played a big role in history. In places like Ireland, corned beef became a common way to preserve meat for long periods. It was practical, long-lasting, and easy to transport. But here's something surprising. The corned beef we associate with Irish culture today, especially dishes like corned beef and cabbage, wasn't originally that common in Ireland. Instead, it became popular among Irish immigrants in places like the United States. When they moved, they adapted to what was available, and corned beef became a cheaper and accessible alternative to other meats. So over time, it became strongly linked with Irish identity, even though its roots are more complicated. Now think about this. A word that sounds like it's about corn actually comes from salt. A food that feels simple, carries a story of survival, trade, and migration. And most people eat it without ever questioning the name. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The word corn itself used to mean something very different from what it means today. Today, when you hear corn, you probably think of yellow kernels, sweet corn, popcorn. But a few hundred years ago, especially in England, corn didn't mean one specific crop. It meant any grain. Wheat could be called corn, barley could be called corn. Even small hard particles like grains of salt could be called corns. So when people said corned, they weren't talking about corn the food. They were talking about something that had been treated with small grains, in this case, salt. Over time, as language evolved, the meaning of corn became more specific. In places like America, it started referring mainly to maize, the yellow corn we know today. But the old meanings didn't completely disappear. They stayed hidden in certain words, like corned beef. That's why today the name feels confusing. It's using an old meaning of a word that most people have forgotten. And this kind of thing happens more often than you think. Language changes slowly, words shift their meaning. But sometimes old versions of those words stay frozen inside certain names, like little time capsules, and corned beef is one of those time capsules. Now here's another interesting detail. The process of making corned beef wasn't just about throwing salt on meat, it was a careful method. The beef would be soaked in a salty brine, basically salt water, for days. Sometimes spices were added. This allowed the salt to go deep inside the meat, preserving it evenly. That's why corned beef has that distinct salty flavor and pink color. And even today, the process is quite similar. Modern versions may use more controlled techniques, but the basic idea hasn't changed much. Salt, time, and preservation. So the next time you see corned beef on a menu or in a store, think about this. There's no corn in it. Not because someone made a mistake, but because the word corn once meant something completely different. It meant grains, it meant particles. It meant those rough crystals of salt that kept meat from spoiling centuries ago. A simple name, hiding an old meaning. But the old meanings didn't completely disappear. They stayed hidden in certain words, like corned beef. That's why today, the name feels confusing. A common food, carrying a story from a time before refrigerators even existed. And now, when someone asks you, why is it called corned beef? You'll know the answer isn't about corn at all. It's about salt, common thing, surprising history. And now you know why it's called corned beef.